Good morning. Today is day 49 of moving mountains beneath my feet. It's 297 days left and 68 days around the sun. Today is actually episode 28. I made a mistake on yesterday's number because I didn't count them. So we're at 28 episodes. And today I want to talk about stepping out of your comfort zone. This is something that, I've done a lot in my life, but obviously at the same time, we've all had our own zones of comfort and live within those bounds. And so one of the things that I've been doing, that I just started doing, outside of, sharing this message every day, was outside of my comfort zone. I just started doing it every day, and I've just been leaning into that. But the other thing that I just recently started was going to this Zumba class. And this is something for some reason that has been so outside of my comfort zone. I've just had this fear around movement in front of people. And my God, I do this every day. This sunrise. I have to pause this real quick and take a picture. My goodness. Today it's extra beautiful. And so I'm greeted with this amazing sunrise and a nearly full moon to my right. And on my left is this sunrise over the ocean. And I'm looking at the peak that I'm headed up, the mountain. It's just a beautiful moment that I wish I could share with everyone who's listening. But getting back to what I was saying, Zumba. For some reason I have this feeling and want to dance and express joy in movement. Like I have this, like I watch dancers, I watch Afrobeats dancers, and I'm like, yo, I love this shit. I want to do that. And there's something in me that has just prevented me, like this shell, this internal fear of, I don't know what, the fear of what other people will think, the fear of looking stupid, whatever the fear is, the fear of expressing myself, of being seen, of being like my full self. Right? And so in order to start to address this, I thought, well, maybe I need to just do this damn Zumba class. And this is just my second one yesterday. I went yesterday and I went alone. The first time I went with somebody who was kind of like theirs. Like I asked this person, like, hey, make me go. Like talk shit to me, nudge me, force me to go because I'm really wanting to chicken out of this thing. And she did. And so, yeah, she was there for the first time, but then this time it was up to myself, for me to do it on my own. And it's like mostly women. There's like 2 guys there. And so there's that, right? But it's an interesting experience because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, I can't follow the steps. Like, this is also a thing that I struggle with, is like watching someone else perform a move physically. Like, I don't know, I'm like so good at so many things, but this one thing, there's several things I'm not good at, but this thing is like I really struggle with, is like being able to follow and mimic a movement. Like I literally get confused, or like I can't follow it and I have to see it like 10,000 times before I can actually like recreate that movement. And so it's just extra hard for me. And when things are really, really hard for me, because so many things come so naturally to me and I can learn things so quickly, it's extra frustrating and extra like disempowering. And so I avoid these situations. I don't like to be that uncomfortable. And so the first time was a shit show, obviously. But, I noticed like, hey, nobody's really paying attention to you. They're all doing their own shit show. Some of them are really good at it. But the second time I went, I felt a little bit more comfortable, still uncomfortable, still weird, still can't follow the damn steps. They're doing different songs, and and I'm starting to get into it a little bit, right? I'm realizing like, who cares who's watching, right? Who cares who's looking at me? Like, I'm here for myself. I'm here to expand myself, right? And to step out of my comfort zone. And so I'll keep doing that. But, in life, a lot of times we get stuck in ruts or get stuck in our routines that keep us comfortable. And every time I've really, really grown in my life in big ways was when I was stepping out of that comfort zone. And so I'm reminded of the power of being able to leave that zone of comfort and step out into this unknown, step out into what scares you, step into the thing that you're trying to avoid, right? If you're trying to avoid intimacy and vulnerability, like, lean into that, because that's where all the things that you want are going to be. If you're trying to avoid dealing with something within yourself, right? Like, let's say your health is a real issue and you don't want to, like, go there. It's like everything that you want is there. Everything that you want is on the other side of that comfort zone line, if you will, right? And so it's okay to be scared and to feel fear. And I want to talk about fear, right? Because fear is something that I deal with. I mean, we all deal with, but I deal with a lot too. And when I really examine what fear is, right? Fear is an emotion that has a purpose, right? Like, let's say if you're, on a ledge of a mountain and you start to feel this fear because you're getting too close to the edge, that's healthy, right? It makes you aware of your dangerous situation and can protect you, right? That's what it's for. It's supposed to protect you. If you hear rustling in the woods and there's bears in the area, and like you get heightened experience. You're like, hey, there could be a bear is trying to come and fucking eat me, right? But today, most people's fears revolve around things that are not going to actually hurt them, right? Not going to actually even happen. And so fear today, a lot of people's fear, and myself included, I get myself so worked up about things and situations that, number one, didn't happen, right? They aren't going to happen, or they haven't happened yet, right? So I'm imagining and experiencing this thing that isn't real, and I'm having a physiological, emotional response, right, to this fear. And it prevents me from doing and having the things that I really want, right? For example, in my attachment style is anxious, preoccupied. And one of the traits, is like a fear of abandonment, fear of, being betrayed and being abandoned. And so oftentimes things will come up with my partner that trigger my fears. And I might be scared of something happening that in all reality, number one, isn't going to happen, didn't happen, right? I'm imagining, I'm creating this scenario before it ever happens, but I react, right? I react to this fear as if it was real. And so I was having this talk with Elsie yesterday on our podcast, May the Love of People Find You. It's a longer show. We got really deep and vulnerable into parenting. We got into parenting ourselves and healing the relationship with our parents. It's a really vulnerable episode. I almost cried during it, talking about my dad and my brother. But anyway, she really helped me to, she said something yesterday that really kind of hit me about fear. It's like, when you think about the fear, number one, your feelings are valid, right? Everything that you feel is valid. You don't have to make it invalid, right? That fear is a valid fear. However, when you can put it in perspective and say, hey, this thing didn't happen, it's not going to happen, and I can conquer this, right? I can get the awareness that it's not something that's going to happen. And from that awareness, I can remove the power that this fear has over me and how I show up, right? Elsie had a way more elegant way of putting this, and I really wanted to demonstrate it or say it that way, but I don't have enough time here, and so I'm going to run out of time. But anyway, I want to encourage everyone to do something that steps into the direction of the unknown and out of their comfort zone, and to think about how your fears are not real. Anyway, have a blessed, beautiful, magical day today. Blessings.